Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Taurus season pick a card reading. So here we are moving into Taurus on April 19th, and we'll be in that Taurus season through May 20th when we go into Gemini. So today's pick a card reading, you're going to have a choice between Earth, which Taurus is an Earth sign, the Taurus card, or Venus, which rules Taurus. So you can choose 1, 2, or 3, or as many as you like, of course. Also going to throw on the end will be a special birthday reading for all those Taurus suns out there. So happy birthday, you Tauruses, and enjoy your season. So we'll go ahead and jump into reading number 1. If you chose reading number 1, which is the Earth card, then this is for you. All right. And since we are in an earthly type season for the Taurus season there, I'm going to go ahead and pick some cards from the Fairy Tarot by Doreen Virtue. So we'll go ahead and do that. But first I want to do an oracle card here from this Reawakening of the Soul, just to get an overall theme and an energy for what you will be going through, kind of what theme will happen for that, around a 30-day period. And before we go into the reading, we just are thanking you, Creator, for being here with us. We thank you for your unconditional love. We thank you and welcome you. We also thank all our guardian angels and our angels, all our loved ones who are on the other side, and our ancestors, any of our spirit guides, any of those other magical, unconditionally loving beings on the other side. We thank you and we welcome you to be here with us to bring us your messages. All right. Let's see what we have for the Taurus season for you. All right. What would you like those that chose the Earth card to know for that month? Period of time anyway. Just make it really obvious for us, if you would. Okay, there we go. Transformation. I love this. It's the phoenix, right? Rising from the ashes, transforming. So it's going to be a month of, I know Aries, Aries season that we're coming out of is like the fire, right? So we definitely had some things that might have kind of come to an end or feel like they have burned into ashes, or you're just ready for them to move on, but you're ready for a transformation. So it's really going to be an amazing month for you. I also want to see what she mentions in here, because she has such great things to say in this little book that accompanies it, of course. Okay, and we got transformation. Yeah, let go of the false self and be reborn into absolute truth. There's a little quote here from the Paramahansa Yogananda, and it says, "Turn toward God and you will find yourself shaking off the chains of habits and environment. The self identified with the ego is bound. The self identified with the soul is free." Love that. And it says, for the card message, it's, "I am the Grand Phoenix. I have arrived to tell you that it's time for you to burn away the old and open up to the new. The old ways include beliefs, ideas, moods, habits, or whims that no longer fit you. You're moving into a higher awareness, and there's no space for these lower energies. Your higher self knows that great rewards are birthed when the dysfunctional patterns are burned away. Deep down inside of yourself, you know the changes you desire. The way you are currently living your life no longer serves you. You feel a personal fire burning within your heart, crying out with the desire to change. You feel the absolute truth calling from your native soul, and you know you must move toward your vision. You're moving into your true nature, the soul, a reflection of spirit. You've descended from spirit into flesh and have become identified with the body and all its senses and possessions. It is now time to return to God. Release all your fears and allow them to burn in the fire. Celebrate the rebirth of your soul. You are immortal. Congratulations, you're now ready to celebrate the birth of your higher consciousness and resurrect your soul. And it gives 4 introspection questions, and I'll read those in case any of those resonate with you. Number 1 is, what ideas, beliefs, thoughts, or patterns must be burned in order for new growth and new direction to occur? The second one is, how does the vision of my inner phoenix rising appear to me? Number 3, what am I willing to burn at this moment in my life? And lastly, for number 4, how will I experience life differently after my rebirth? And the affirmation is, I rise above my mind into the awareness of my soul's wisdom. So perfect. What a great message for transformation, letting the old go, ready for the new to come in. And spring is kind of like that too. The winter is, fall and winter is the moving away from things, the falling of the leaves, the burning of things, leaving behind, and the spring is a time for newness, for new thought, new ways. So it's perfect for you for this Taurus season. Okay, next, like I mentioned, this is the Fairy Tarot by Doreen, and let me shuffle these up and we'll see what additional messages we have for those that chose the Earth card. All right, what additional messages do you have for us that chose the Earth card, please? What else would you like us to know for this upcoming period? Okay. Any others? Okay. All right. So there are 2 for this one. And you got the 2 of Autumn, which I was just talking about the fall, right? Bring fun into everything you do. Juggling multiple priorities or jobs, and an exceptional talent for multitasking. So I, love, so with this transformation, there's a lot of kind of balancing as things go and as new things come in. It's almost sometimes feels like there's double activities going on because there's things that need to be done to end things, let things go, while also bringing in the new things. So, this too is that there are these, multiple tasking. It's like you're using 2 hands to juggle, and I like kind of how it is like they're juggling these balls of light. That you'd have a little bit, but you have the ability to do that, and especially with it being influenced with Taurus, with that Earth, we're able to ground, we're able to connect, to this, like Mother Earth, like walking barefoot on the ground and grounding all that energy and all that activity. You can still stay balanced while all that is going on, and you're just like, wow, I don't know how I'm doing this, but you have all that energy available to you with this Taurus season that's coming up. And then you have the High Priestess too. This is the number 2 card there. And it's trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking action, insights that come through meditation. So the High Priestess, is all about turning inward and trusting your gut, not just what your eyes see, but understanding and listening to those deep voices and listening to, like it says, your deep intuition. Because as this transformation comes and as this, things come and things go, it's important to know what to let go and when to plant things and what. So just don't doubt yourself. Just trust your heart, trust your gut, and don't and kind of get out of your mind. Don't focus so much on what might seem logical, because this is all about, being playful, enjoying the journey, enjoying the process. The phoenix doesn't dread the burning. It actually, as it gets older, the phoenix, it's ready to let those old things go and burn to start new things, because it gets tired and bored of the same old, right? And when letting go of those beliefs, it's like, okay, those things that are no longer serving you, it's time to ignite them, time to let them go. All right. And then I also want to pull a card here from the Aboriginal Spirit Oracle, because this has a very big earthy feel for it as well. And we'll see what additional messages we have here. I just noticed in this too, on this earth card, you can see the butterfly wings, which is all about transformation, right? All right, what else would you like, those that chose the earth sign, to know for next month, please? For Taurus season, what would the earth card pickers need to know? What would you like them to know for their highest experience, please? Any others? Nope. Okay. Can't make that up, can we? So intuition. I love that. That's just what I'm going to put it right under the High Priestess, which was all about intuition here. And we'll see what additional messages the little book mentions regarding intuition here. Yep, it says intuition is a state of awareness that can only come by knowing and trusting in yourself. You need to first notice, then trust the feelings, the sounds, the symbols, and the messages that come to you. They are not coincidences. Your intuition will provide you with guidance at any time in any situation. Just take the time to find that inner place of reflection, and the rest will come with ease. It says there have been signs in your past that you have chosen to ignore, but here today you're faced with a challenge to make a decision. You instinctively know what the best plan is, but this is a difficult decision for you to make. You've forgotten to trust your instincts and your intuition, but in making this decision, the universe will support you. You will find peace at last by simply making this decision, and as a result, you will find a renewed trust in your intuitive abilities. Your intuitive senses have long been ignored, but now it is time to reclaim and trust your intuition. You will feel as though you are welcoming a new friend home. A sense of inner peace and reclaimed trust in yourself will find its way back into your life. And I love that, and I really feel like the transformation that you're having is that transformation from trusting in logic and mind and external opinions, and you've had situations where you were like, I should have trusted my gut because it was telling me this, but I did that, what I thought was what I was supposed to do, and it ended up, blown up in my face. But now I know I can trust my inner, that inner whisper, that inner voice. Just take time to get into that reflective place, that quiet place, that place of unconditional love, because then you're in this peace, and like you're in the middle of the storm then, with the storm raging on around, but you can make clear decisions with that intuition, because when you come to that place of peace, you can hear the whispers of love. When you focus on unconditional love, peace, joy, and laughter, you hear the language of spirit, of the Holy Spirit, of the Creator, of the angels, because that's what they speak. But when we're in fear, it's so noisy and loud. It's like doing, triple somersaults in the storm as you're flipping around. You can't really think straight or hear anything. All you hear is the wind going through your ear going. So trust your intuition, get to that quiet place, and you'll be able to hear clearly. Surprise! Wonderful. And I love that it's like, because it's what's inside is where your gift is. So as you connect to your intuition and do your deep dive inside, that's where you're going to find, this wonderful surprise of more gifts than you can imagine that you have. Because when we're in fear, it's like the battery's disconnected and our soulful spiritual gifts are so dulled and the flame is so small. But the more you clutter and clear out that pipeline from fear, the more unconditional love energy that comes down from above and just ignites it. And it ignites all these abilities and gifts that we all have with intuition and healing and the knowing, talking to the other side, all sorts of wonderful, amazing spiritual gifts that we all have the ability to do. It's just that when we're in fear, it shuts it all down. And let me read what it says here for the surprise too. It says, when something unexpected occurs, we're surprised. Those feelings of a good surprise are wonderful, leaving you with tingly sensations. Because they are so unexpected, we're often humbled and thankful to have the experiences. Surprises don't need to be materialistic. A surprise can be simply an unexpected outcome that occurs, which impacts positively on a person or situation. It can be finding friendship, solace, and laughter at an event or in a situation that was totally unexpected. It says, prepare for something wonderful to you. It will come out of the blue and be totally unexpected. You feel it has been a long time since something good has happened to you, but you so easily forget the times when things were good and life was going well. You've been through challenging times of late and have forgotten how to enjoy yourself. Most importantly, you have struggled to see the positive side of things, and this has kept you in the doldrums. When this surprise arrives, enjoy the feelings associated with it. Remember, it was not the surprise that you need, but more so the awareness and connectedness to the feelings that are associated with the fun of surprise. Amazing. Fun, like I was talking about, it's about focusing on the joy, focusing on the wonderful things, and you have some wonderful surprises coming. Yay! And then lastly, because it's all about the earth, we're going to do a Whispering Woods little card here just for your final message for the Taurus season. Let's see, what do we have for those that chose the earth card, please? What additional messages do you have? Okay. Almost. They're giving it a good shuffle here so that your perfect message will come out here. Okay. Or messages. You get 3. Beautiful. So the first one is trust. It says, the robin trusts her wings, not the branch she sits on. Opportunities. Opportunities unfurl like a fern even without warm sunlight. And lastly, you got change. Falling leaves do not signify the end, but the beginning of a fruitful season. So I love all these. It's probably been about 5 years. I've had a lot of change in my life, a lot of things that became so overwhelming, like, moving to different states a couple times, and whenever there was like so much to happen, and I'm like, I just don't know how I'm going to get all this done and how this situation is going to unfold, right? And I would hear the Creator go, do you trust me? I'd be like, it's a very good question to ask ourselves, right? Do I trust you? I do. And, sometimes it's, do you trust my timing? Oh, if I trust you, I have to trust everything, don't I? So it's like, yes, I trust you. And, out of anything in life, the only stable being that has not ever let me down is Spirit, is Creator, is the unconditionally living beings on the other side, because they are capable, they see everything, they understand everything, where, we as humans, we only know our limited, information. We're seeing the world through our conditioned eyes. We really don't see the world as it is. So everyone's making decisions and being unstable. So, it's not, to blame anyone on this plane, because that is what humans do. That's all they can do. They, act and live on the beliefs they have. But the Creator, boom, you can trust. You got change coming, like it did with transformation, opportunities coming. Yep, you have things coming in and things going out, and wonderful opportunities coming. So just trust your intuition. Trust those voices, those whispers of love from above, and you can't go wrong. Well, if you enjoyed this video, then, I definitely would appreciate any likes or shares, subscribes, any comments. All those things help spread the love and spread these messages. So I definitely appreciate that. And I will leave it at that. You enjoy your Taurus season, and just know that as you go through each day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. You take care. If you chose the Taurus card, reading number 2, then this is the message for you. I just love that bowl. Right, and since Taurus is the Earth, an Earth sign, we're going to pull some cards from the Fairy Tarot, but first we're going to pick just a card here from the Reawakening the Soul Oracle cards here, just to get a kind of your basic energy or your basic theme of what you'll be experiencing during your Taurus season. So it's more of the, if you're looking at an improv act, it's like, okay, what theme are you going to act out? What are you going to engage in? So that's what we're going to take a look at here. And before we jump into this, I always love just to thank the Creator for being here with us. And we do thank you for your unconditional love. We welcome you and thank you. We also welcome all the guardian angels and angels that are with us, all our spirit guides, our loved ones who've gone to the other side, and our ancestors, and any of those other magical and conditionally living beings on the other side. We welcome you and we thank you for being here with us. All right, let's see what wonderful message we have for you that chose the Taurus card. What's the basic theme for your Taurus season? All right, what would you like us to know? What is it going to look like? What is the basic theme? Okay, I really feel that one is wanting to shake itself out here. Freedom! Look at that, freedom! Beautiful horse here. Yep, so it's going to be a month of releasing things that no longer are bringing you your joy, no longer bringing you that passion in your life anymore. There seems to be been these things that have been binding you, like you felt caged or trapped, just that really suppressed, oppressed feeling that you've had. But this is going to be the season of freedom. This is going to be during these next days from April 19th to May 20th. You're really going to see the load lightening. You're just going to be able to be free. It's like a horse that's been in a pen and been, locked in a barn, and they finally have been able to just escape from it all, and you're running, free on the plains, your mane whipping in the wind, just a real open feeling. And let's see what message we have here from the book 2 around freedom. And it says, give yourself permission to live the life you came here to live. And there's a saying here from, I'm probably mispronouncing this, but I think it's Sri Dayamata. It says, every human being wants to be free. Once you become aware that you are really a prisoner in this life, you will crave freedom. Yep. So once you become aware that you are a prisoner in this life, then you will crave freedom. And I love that. It says you were born free, yet the conditioning from parents, teachers, and society causes you to forget your true divine birthright. At an early age, you were taught what to believe and how to behave. In order to survive, you conformed to these programs even if they were dysfunctional. You didn't realize that these conditions were mere perceptions from others, and many of these thought forms may have been inaccurate. You chose to receive these borrowed beliefs as your truth. When you allow someone to tell you how to feel or what to believe, you forfeit living your own authentic life. Remember that you are one with the infinite and can work miracles. Become aware that you are a divine being and you will be free. Realize your true essence and free yourself from the bondage holding you back from achieving your dreams. Reawaken your soul and celebrate your freedom. Wonderful. And then it gives 4 little questions for introspection, which I'll give those to you. Number 1 is, what does freedom mean to me? Number 2 is, how can I create more freedom in my life? Number 3 is, how would it feel to be completely free to live every moment as my spirit wished? Wow. And number 4, what changes would it take for me to be completely free? And the affirmation is, I now celebrate the birth of my freedom. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, next we're gonna pick some cards here from the Fairy Tarot here, just to get some more clarification and messages for your Taurus season. I know, especially over these last year, especially, you know, with everything that's been going on in the world, so much different information, especially, you know, on the web and news and everywhere. It's like you hear so many contradictory statements and information and theories and conspiracy theories and misinformation and information, and we don't like what is true. And really, I love how it says when we stop listening to what everyone is telling that we need to believe, then we can reconnect to our heart, reconnect to the infinite through unconditional love, and then we get to decide what we want to believe about life. All right, what else would you like those that chose the Taurus card to know for Taurus season, please? What else would you like us to know? Okay, I feel like those 2 there. These 2. That one. All right. So you actually get 5. Got the 2 of spring, and I love that this is the number 2 here. So we're starting to see some synchronicity with the number 2 there for you. There's a nice little picture there. And it says, a bright future manifested through hard work and creativity, partnering with others who share your dreams, great progress being made. And I love that this is because a 2 can usually represent some sort of choice or balance that's needing to be done, and I love that the number 2 would being pushed to kind of talk about with the number 2 is to realize that within you there are 2 kind of two beings that live within you, within this human experience. There's this fear ego and this humanness that we come here, which, we live in this mindset of, based on fight or flight and fear and survival and, as this character. But then there's this actor, the real us, the true us, the eternal us, which is our higher self, our soul, our spirit. And that's the actor behind the characters there. And so when freedom comes, it's when you realize first that there are two of me here, and you start to see that divide. You start to see the difference between the temporary and the eternal, the conditional and the unconditional, the fear-based and the unconditionally love-based. You just start to see the two different sides of every choice you can make in every moment. And the freedom comes when you realize that you have the power of choice to determine what anything means. And then people will have their opinions, and they will definitely always share those with you out of their own fears, trying to make sure that you are acceptable and lovable and everything else that they think, this long list of things they think need to be fulfilled in order for you to be lovable. And they're like, you need to do these things or you're going to get rejected, but we get to decide what anything means about us. Even, with everyone's opinions out there, we're ultimately the ones that get to decide every moment what anything means. Yep. And then you got the Chariot, which is all about choices again. Usually you'll see like a black horse and a white horse on a lot of the other tarot, but you are the one that gets to decide what choice to make. You're the one that's driving and driving the horses, driving, in this case, the dragonflies. And it says success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. So Chariot also means about successful things. And what's wonderful is that, that brings up a wonderful awareness around what do you feel success means. And you get to challenge that because, when you're looking at the difference between the two, the conditional fear-based world or the upper higher spiritual higher viewpoint, it's like, what does success means? You've been told what it means, but you get to decide what it means. So now you get to decide what it means. And I really feel that this is what this is saying for you. It's where your freedom's going to come from. And then you got Seven of Winter, which talks about there is a better choice, not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. So, this is definitely the questioning your thoughts, questioning your beliefs, questioning those things. And there is a higher choice. Again, just so reaffirming everything I've said already. You got Seven of Winter and the 7 here. So if 2s and 7s have anything to do with you, or 9 with 7 and 2 added together. And then you have the Empress. I love that, number 3. Sorry about the glare there. Time to take action, the power of creativity, success that allows for a life of luxury. The Empress is like Mother Nature, Mother Nurturer, the new birth. And I love that this is a pea, and it's like 2 peas in a pod, is what's coming to mind too, which comes back to this, the dual that's happening there. Even though you see one baby there, it's in, like where there's 2 different peas here. But it's time to take action. Freedom doesn't come, when the horse is trapped in a barn and a storm comes and busts open the barn doors and knocks, the little stuff that's keeping the horse trapped there. If the horse doesn't take action to move, they're just going to close the door and you're going to remain trapped. So it does, your power of choice is your power of action. And when you choose what you have always chosen, you're going to get what you've always gotten. So time for new choices during this Taurus season here. And you're not being forced to. What I love about choices and when things change in our lives, it's when the fear of making the move gets outweighed by that ugly feeling of staying where you're at. And at some point, it just becomes so uncomfortable staying where you're at that the fears, don't mean anything, to you there. It's you willing and ready to make that move, ready to make that jump, ready to make that change, and ready to free yourself from a situation. So, and then lastly, okay, you had 3. That's funny. 2 and 2 and 7 and 7 and 3 and 3. And it says, follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you can do. Be the best at what you do. Being compensated for your creative talents. And I love this. I just want to make sure that focus is in there. You're doing the magic. You're doing the work. Follow your passions. And I love that totally fits in with this too, because as you free yourself from all those conditions of what are supposed to be and what you should be and what you're supposed to be doing and all that feeling of trapped, even like you're trapped in a job or you're trapped in a relationship or just trapped in any kind of situation, you can live your passion, live your joy, and you have the power to make that switch. So great messages for you. And then next I'm going to pull a card here from an Aboriginal Spirit Oracle, or cards if more pop out, just because the Aboriginal Spirit just feels so earthy and connected to Earth. I just feel drawn to this deck as well. All right, so for those that chose the Taurus card, what additional messages do you have for us, please? Okay, any others? One more pass. Okay, I feel like that one wanted to kind of speak as well. All right, so you've got turmoil. Focuses in there. So turmoil, which I definitely feel, I just love this purple too. They, again, you're twisted, you're torn between two worlds. This reminds me of, there's like this tree of life, as above, so below, as below, so above. And it's just talking about, the differences between the roots that reach down into the world and the branches that reach to the heavens. If you only reach towards the heavens, you don't have the roots that, keep you down, and it just falls over. But if all you have is roots, then you just never have any growth or fruit either. So it's a wonderful balance, when it comes back to the balance between both worlds. You can be too heavenly minded to be any earthly good, or too earthly minded to know heavenly good. So I love that. Let me just read from the book too here, because they have great messages in here. And I like this. It says, don't fear turmoil. We find our strength and courage amongst the challenges that turmoil creates in our lives. As we work through the turmoil and take control of the situation, we begin to see another side to things that may not have been evident prior to now. Turmoil provides us the opportunity to start something again or completely change direction, and it's the opportunity for change that is the real wisdom of this experience. Don't lose sight that with turmoil is the growth of oneself, to reevaluate, to rise above the challenge, and to create something better than before. Freedom! Either an unexpected event has just occurred or is about to. This is one of those moments in time when you will need to seriously reevaluate your situation. The turmoil that occurs is only short-term, so don't fear what is happening, because the universe only gives us experience we can cope with. Whilst the initial event will come as a shock to you, the final outcome will have a wonderful ending. It's like the bushfire that burns the trees, yet underneath the burnt leaves and bark, the sap continues to flow. the tree begins to renew its growth and stand stronger and greener than it ever was before the fire. See this situation as a positive event in your life, and you will be stronger and more courageous than ever before. Love it, love it. And then you have accomplishment. Ta-da! The golden trophy. And we'll read this one as well. An accomplishment is the result of our journey. Often we fail to recognize the significance of the journey that delivers us to the place which we deem success. During our journey to get to the finish line, there are usually lessons we have learned along the way, and these experiences are filled with wisdom. True accomplishment is defined by the lessons that we experience on our journey. The journey is as significant as the destination in which it ends. And I love that too when we're talking about, redefining what success means. What does accomplishment mean for you? Just it feels like that just coincides so much. And then it says, stop being impatient, slow down and savor the journey. Look at what you have accomplished and how you arrived at this moment in time. You did the hard slog to get here. Now just rest for a moment and enjoy the success and triumphs. You are such a high achiever that each time you achieve your goals, you shift the goalposts. It's okay to reassess your goals, but you find yourself continually chasing higher and still higher goals, when in actual fact you already surpassed these goals some time ago. As a result of your hard work, there's now a great opportunity coming to you in the following few days. Just give the universe some time for all the final pieces to fall into place, and you will be off and running again. And I love there's a message in here too about, we have these goals that we set, and we're like, okay, I'll be happy. I'm supposed to be happy when this happens, and then we reach that and it doesn't happen, and so we raise it. Okay, well, when this happens, then that's what I need to, then I'll be happy. And when our fulfillment is always in the future, we're never happy. And one of the things that happened when I had an opportunity to, what am I going to do to live my dreams? What is my dream? And when I wrote down all the things I thought is what my dream was, the Creator kind of took me into the future in my mind's eye and said, okay, here you are. You've achieved all this, now what? And I'm like, well, then now I want to achieve something else. And when I realized that if I'm not happy when I have all that, and if I'm not happy now, then how am I going to be happy when all that other stuff happens? And when that other stuff happens, when other stuff happens. So my dream became, be here now with the Creator in that love, because now is where we live. Now is where everything is. Tomorrow never comes, and all those things we put into the future of when, then I'll be happy when, it never comes. I also love the phrase, be happy for no reason at all, then no one can take it away. I can be happy right now just because I want to be. I love it. Right, and then finally, because it's all about earthy, I'm going to funnel cards here from the Whispering Woods. See what your final message is for your Taurus season. Okay, any others? Okay, and any others? Nope, so I'm just going to do with these two here. You got retreat, spoil yourself in the morning mist, breathe in nature's sweet scents. I love that. That kind of comes with this accomplishment here too, Spoil yourself in the morning mist. Enjoy what you have. Breathe in the sweet scents. And then transform. Emerge with beauty and grace from your cocoon. Yeah, I always have this idea as we come here, when I was talking about the duality of the twos, it's the human experience is like a caterpillar that goes along the jungle floor, experiencing, wanting to consume, wanting to be protected, and didn't want to, get snatched by other beings, and just making sure as shelter and all that kind of stuff. But then, you go into a cocoon, and we end up transforming into a butterfly where we, remember who we are, the spirit that flies above, looking down, from above, from that higher perspective as that butterfly, as our spirit, as our soul. So I love that for us. All right, well, I'm going to leave that here. So, if you enjoy this, of course, I always appreciate any likes, shares, or subscribes, any comments. All those things help spread the love and these messages. And, just as you go into this next Taurus season coming up here, just know each day that you are unconditionally loved, no conditions, by the Creator of all things. And also, I love you too. You hang in there, have a blast. Freedom! Until next time, you take care. If you chose reading number 3, the Venus card, then this is for you. All right, so we're going to start off the reading by picking a card here from the Reawakening the Soul, just to get kind of an energy or what your theme is, for this next Taurus season coming up from like April 19th to May 20th. And before I pick a card, I just want to, as always, we just want to thank the Creator for being here with us and for your unconditional love. We welcome you and we thank you. We also welcome all our guardian angels and our angels, all our spirit guides, all our loved ones who've gone to the other side, and our ancestors, and any unconditionally loving spirit beings that are on the other side. We welcome you and we thank you for being here with us. All right, let's give this a good shuffle here. Let's see what message we have here. All right, so what theme for the Venus cards for the Taurus season coming up here would you like us to know? What would you like to give us a heads up on what our theme is? Okay. Oh, I love this. So you've got ether, center, and present. Oh, sorry about the glare there. I just love this. The lotus, the balancing, the connection to the ether, centering, being present in the moment. That's a great thing to have there for sure. Let me get the message here on what those mean here. I know these are toward the back, I believe. Yeah, because you got the 4 elements, but then I think ether's last here. Sorry. Obviously, I don't pre-pick these cards. There we go. So ether. Ether is the subtle element of vibration. And there's a phrase here by the Paramahansa Yogananda. It says, "The reality of my life cannot die, for I am indestructible consciousness. O Spirit of my soul within, to the place of union, love, and honor, I give my gratitude for this gift of life and for my heart that guides my way. The intelligence of God is the spark that activates and energizes all of creation through the creative cosmic vibration. I am filled with the same transcendental energy. In the center of my being, deep into my core, I call on my own essence. I connect with the energies of my own uniqueness, special gifts, and talents. I fill myself with my own personal energetic signature. I am the very first element in creation. I am universal cosmic consciousness. I unite with my Divine Mother and Heavenly Father. I am the source of all matter and the space in which it exists. I am the essence of all that is." Beautiful. It does give a couple questions here for introspection. It says, do I acknowledge my own essential spirit? Am I connected to my divine source? Am I aware of the subtle energy that sustains me? And the affirmation is, I am universal cosmic consciousness. Wow. So, wow, your Taurus season coming up, if you chose this Venus card, which Venus, is all about love and unconditional love. It's about reconnecting to the ethereal plane, to your true essence, to who you really are, which is a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. You are unconditional love. All right. And because this is an earth type, Taurus season is an earth sign, I wanted to do some fairy cards here because I really feel fairies are very much attached to earth type energy. So we'll pull some additional cards here for some additional messages. I'm just going to center these. So it's going to be quite I just feel an internal type of month for you, at least from April 19th to May 20th during that time, because you're going to do a lot of inner reflection, to come to this point. And it might be spawned by some external disappointment, because life seems to be designed that way, that when we're looking for the outside to fulfill us and to define us and all that fun stuff, it's unstable, it's disappointing, it hardly ever for very long at all fulfills us and makes us feel good. It's usually more challenging, and it's always pointing back, look here, and that's where we find that unconditional love. All right, what else would you like those that chose the Venus card to know for? Okay. Any others? Alrighty. Okay, I think that's it. Is there any other ones? Yep, that's it. So your first card here is the King of Spring. Innovative, inspiring, wise, theatrical. It talks about a financial windfall. Your leadership skills are needed now. An unexpected supporter of your cause. And I'm really zeroing in on this last one here because I just really feel that it's this connection that you make here. That again, the external things, and you could even get a financial windfall and feel like you have it all, but then it doesn't fulfill you, so that's the whole thing about the external stuff. It'll either disappoint us by not giving us what we think we need, or give us what we thought was going to make us happy, and it doesn't. And regardless, whenever we go to all these goals and all these things and do all that stuff, it's like it keeps pointing us back to the internal. But then when it talks about an unexpected supporter of your cause, you're just really going to sense and get messages from your angels and your like your guardian angel and your other supportive angels, your spirit guides, loved ones who've gone to the other side. You're just going to see all these signs and all these memories, and I just feel that especially with loved ones who've gone to the other side, you're just suddenly it's like they poke a memory in your brain and go boop, and you suddenly remember an experience you had with them, and you think, oh, it's just coincidence. But no, your thoughts come because they poked it in your brain for it to come to your memory and to come back to your forefront. It's like they clicked the play button to play that memory so you would remember them and know that they are with you. Then you got the Two of Summer. And it says, falling in love or making a serious commitment to someone, forgiveness and the resolution of a problem. Don't give up. Your relationship can be healed. And I really, what I'm feeling for this one is, I'm sorry if you're looking for romance. This one is not feeling the romance that it's showing here. It's about finding your true love, which is yourself. It's about connecting to your inner love. You have your, it's like your higher being and your human form. It's like the little child inside you, the small you, and the adult you. I always have this flashback of when I was going through some counseling, and they did this EMDR, and they took me back to my early childhood when I first kind of freaked out a little bit, where I felt abandoned because I walked in the house by myself one day, and when I was like, first grade or somewhere around there, and it freaked me out. But when in that moment, as things were unfolding inside me, I had a picture-in-picture of me as a little child and me as a parent. I was walking in this way from a kitchen as a little boy, and this one as an adult, and I walked over and picked myself up and gave myself the love and safety that the little child didn't think that it had in that moment. And it just unfolded. And that's that kind of love that it's talking about here, is that finding that the highest love, the higher love, the love for ourselves, and of course the love from the Creator, that unconditional love, and just finding all that inside. It's like this whole inside journey. I just don't feel it's an outside at all. Anything on the outside is going to be pointing us back to this, back into here. And then you had the King of Spring, you have the Queen of Spring. So brilliant, loyal, talented, friendly. Believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you maintain a balance between work and home life. Yeah. So I really feel this is like the divine, and I think even talked in this card about the divine mother and father, so this is also just a reiteration showing you that it's the mother and father of all things. Our divine mother, father, our Creator is this wonderful person or supporter of your cause, the one that's wonderful people want to help you. This is the internal, the spirit, the invisible world is the one that wants to connect with you during this month. It's just such a huge spirit month for you, for that season there. And then you got Princess of Summer, gentle, sensitive, kind, inexperienced. This is a new relationship or emotional experience, invitations to social events, a compassionate friend you can share your concerns with. And again, I just really feel, and I know this is a fairy, but I just felt this huge message of guardian angel. This is someone that you can share your concerns with, and you're going to develop a new relationship, a new emotional experience with the spirit side of things. And I just love this. Look at these colors, are just exactly mirrored. I just love this. All right. And then I'm going to do pick a card here from the Aboriginal Spirit Oracle, because I just feel that Aboriginal people are just so connected to the earth energy, and I just felt drawn to this deck for this reading as well. What additional messages we have for you. Yeah, I just jumped out of here too. This don't give up. I know it just really feels like there's been so many things that have been disappointing you in the external world, whether it's people, situations, or things, or events, or whatever it might be, that you just almost feel like giving up. And don't give up on you. Give up on that those external things are going to give you what you want, and just know that the answers are going to be within you. But don't give up, because I was there once. I almost ended my life, and I chose to live because I got a message saying, no, don't. Just give it another day, give it another day, give it another day. And just a wonderful, creator made himself known to me over all these years. That was when I think I was like 22, and I'm more than twice that now. Much more than that now. But we will move on and see what other messages we have here for those that chose the Venus card here. All right, I think you get 3. Awesome. Earth, Sun. And I love that, again, it's like the Trinity. I mentioned this card about the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, and then you are the Earth Child. You are, the Trinity, when it's in Christianity, it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's Father, Mother, Child. And you are that child in the Trinity. You are a child of the Creator. And I'm going to read what it has to mention here too. And with it being an Earth sign too, it's just all about connecting to that wonderful, nurturing Earth energy that we have for the Taurus season. The Earth Sun is the guardian responsible for nurturing and caring for the environment, the animals, and the plants. Much like an elemental or the fairy folk, he takes his role seriously, but is high-spirited, always looking to spread his love and laughter with the world. You are confident and carefree and are not limited by your fears. This is a great trait to have, as it gives you the courage to move forward, to face any challenges that lay in front of you. You have little time for those who try to limit your beliefs or dampen your spirits. In fact, you feel only pity for those who restrict themselves because of their fears. These are not people who choose to, these are not people who you choose to surround yourself with. However, these same people are drawn to you because of your endlessly cheerful attitude and positive outlook in life. For some reason, you are a little resistant in moving forward, but have no fear. There are no downsides to the decision you need to make right now. Whichever direction you decide to go, it will have a good outcome. You have a deep faith and belief in yourself that will continue to hold you in good stead once again. Your confidence and luck will always land you on your feet. This is who you are when you walk in spirit. Is what they're telling me. Because when I was reading it, I was hearing people in my mind go, well, that's not me. And it's like, it's not when we're in fear, when we're not aligned, when we're doing this human experience only, being disappointed by all those external things. Yeah, we're not. But when we turn inward and we reconnect with who we really are, that is you. And so if you haven't experienced that, get ready, because as you connect and take that time to connect to your higher self, to the other realm, to your guardian angels, to the mother and father of all things, you're going to have this new experience, or you'll return to this experience. You got creativity. And again, as you connect to that, it just opens your whole mind up, because when you connect to your higher realm, all the supposed to's and shoulds and restrictions that come, they go away, and the world of possibilities opens up for you, and your creativity just goes crazy, because there's no, you don't have to draw within the lines anymore. You can just scribble and create what you want. It's not, you're not drawing on lined paper. You have a free canvas to create whatever you want and go wherever you want on it. It says creativity has been with us since the dawning of time. It's our very essence. It is life itself. It is creation. Creativity gives us each the freedom of expression to be who we truly are, and the opportunity to create what is meaningful and important for ourselves. Creative vision is only limited by imagination and inspiration. What inspires each of us is uniquely individual and should be honored and respected by our own self. And it goes on to say, so much to do, so little time. When you create things, be it art, stories, songs, or whatever your passion is, you are closest to yourself. When you create, the rest of the world disappears, and you are left with your mind and creative thoughts. When the creative juices flow, you find yourself in a meditative state where problems are solved and messages from your subconscious are easily received. You haven't been very creative of late, and it's time to get back to that which inspires you. Even if your very busy day, within that, find the time to get back to doing what you feel is meaningful and creative. You will find that the frustration you've been feeling of late will begin to disappear. Even your loved ones will notice the difference in you. Wow. And I love that because they're, saying that, well, how do I connect? How do I do this? How do I expand it? And what they're telling you is this is one way that you can do it. Meditation can be so many things, right? I mean, it can be the standard meditation stance like this, Om, but there's so many different ways. I have wide variety of friends where when someone's painting, they're taken to another place. When someone's running, it just takes them to a different place. When someone's out walking in nature, it takes them to a different place. Someone taking a hot bath, it takes them to a different place. Everyone has a different way, and it's part of your creativity. It's a part of expressing yourself. And those things that you do, it could be scrubbing a floor is something that just takes you away doing something else, or doing woodwork, or it could be what it is. What it is that does that for you. Okay. And then lastly, illusions. And I love that because this is what I was talking about the external world. The external world is the illusion, because those things aren't real. Those things are always unstable and changing. It's a mirage. It's not real. The waters that we find that are true and not oases in the desert are what we find when we look within, from the mother and father of all things. Right, and let me just grab the solutions here. Illusions are truth in different variations. The truth of a situation may not be your truth, but it is the truth for someone else, and this is what creates illusions. For things may not be what they seem, only what you understand them to be. Our illusions are not negative, provided you understand others may have different illusions. Therefore, everything can be subjective. No matter how clear something is for you, others may view it differently. Their views are based on their understanding of the situation and the perceptions they hold. Neither is wrong or right. It's simply your truth. And I like that too, because that's, like I mentioned, that's the world here. Our conditional conditions and beliefs and everything that we have are what we've been taught and what we've allowed ourselves, out of fear, fear of rejection and desire to be praised and accepted and loved by all those unstable people out there. That's what this whole journey is that we search for that, but those are not, those vary by person and differ by person too. So, you never meet 100% of someone else's, I call them conditional love laws, because everyone has different ones. And even ourselves, we have, things that contradict themselves in our own conditional love lives. So it's all this illusion of, that we see the world as we are, not as it really is. So how we're thinking about the world and all these, beliefs and conditions that we have, we're seeing the world through those perceptions instead of how it really is, and everyone's seeing it differently. It says you may be thinking you're being deceived by a loved one or someone close to you. You're feeling like you are powerless in this matter. Jealousy and anger are tying you up in knots. Look closely at the situation as it is illusion. Look closely at who is actually pulling the strings. There's possibly a third person involved in the situation you've not considered. This third person may be the puppet master. Before assuming the worst, take some time to think the situation through and talk openly and honestly with others involved. Together, you will sort through these issues and resolve the matter that's been affecting your relationship. When this matter is brought into the open, the third person will cease to have the power they once did. The problem will simply disappear. And I like that. I think that's a kind of a message just for a couple people, not really for everyone that pulled the Venus card there. I think the real focus on is that there's a lot of illusions out there. We don't know what's really going on, and that's the whole design of that external world, is to bring all these uncomfortable emotions to us and to disappoint us, to eventually turn us back inward. We come here to experience all those wonderful and comfortable emotions, but eventually when we want to have something higher, which is what this is all about, that's when we turn inward here. All right, and lastly, I'm going to pull a card here from the Whispering Woods, because this is all earthy as well, to get your final messages. Okay, so for those that chose the Venus card, what are your final messages, please? Okay. All right, looks like you get 4 here. So you got surprises. Under the most ordinary stone is an undisturbed garden. And I love that because it's about getting under, like in like the hidden garden, right? Look to the space between the trees for answers. Again, that's looking within for your light. Because in between the spaces, so if there's 2 trees, let's like 2 humans out there, the space in between is the invisible. There's so much that exists in between there that we don't see. We just have to look deeper. It says, inspire others and let nature be your greatest teacher. So part of this connection too, in addition to the creativity, is to spend some time out in nature, because getting away from all those, just all the stuff that's so distracting, all that external stuff that just pulls your attention and pulls your energy. When you get into nature, it allows you to connect, whether it could be walking in a park or just, you don't have to, go out and to do one of those survival islands or anything like that. It's just about get away from your surroundings where there's nature, even if it's just, your backyard where there's trees and where you can, step away when you can. And then the most unlikely friendships can form like variegated lichens on hard rock. They create a tight bond. And again, I just really feel this new relationship that it talked about with you connecting with your guardian angel, your spirit guides. I just feel that this is a big spiritual time for you to really reach out, spend some time away from the physical beings, and spend time with the unconditionally loving spiritual beings. Well, if you enjoyed this video, as always, I appreciate any likes and shares and subscribes and comments. All those things help me spread the love, spread these messages. So I appreciate any of that you do. And just as you go off into this next Taurus season coming up, just know that every day you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. Have a great month. You take care. Happy birthday, all my Sun Tauruses. I am adding this extra reading on the end just for you. So I wish you a very, very, very happy birthday, and may this next solar return around the sun this next year be full of more unconditional love, joy, peace, and laughter that you can handle. That is my wish for you, my friend. So we're going to start off here. I want to pull a little divine guidance card here for you, just to let you know with this next, your birthday month from, between April 19th and May 20th, what that has in store for you. And if you want any other type of readings, I do have information in the description box below. So if you want to get any kind of annual forecast or any other questions, just let me know. Just contact me below in the information, and we'll see what your year has in store. All right. So for our birthday Taurians, what would you like them to know for this month coming up for the Taurus season? All right, and you got card number 37. It's beautiful there. So that breaks down to a 10, which is kind of like a new beginnings, endings and new beginnings. And and it says blossoming. Even simply questioning your life or trying to figure out where and how to move forward moves your energy and aids in opening you to your higher awareness and divine purpose. Continue with this. Don't let your human mind, with its limited point of view, tell you that you're stuck or not progressing. It isn't true. You are opening, you are flowing, and your soul is blossoming. Keep your faith in both yourself and spirit. Know that you are on the perfect path and that you are opening to your highest potential, one step at a time. Perfect. That's a great message. I also want to pull a card here from the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards, just to get you some more information on what type of themes that you'll encounter during that period there. All right, what else would you like the Taurians to know? Okay. So you got miracles, number 33. And it says we tend to perceive miracles only when our personal desires are met, and yet when we look back, almost all of us will be able to recall a crisis or a challenge that ultimately proved to be a miraculous turning point and an extraordinary gift. This card asks you to see the miracles that surround you right now and in every situation. I love that too. So, this is about blossoming and that things are coming. And I love the butterfly is so perfect for that too, because, that's about transformation. It's about the butterfly doesn't go into a cocoon and 10 seconds later, poof, look, it's a butterfly. It takes time for it to break down those things, and it just takes on a whole new form. And then you got authenticity, number 2. It says, hold your head up high, walk tall, and be your authentic self. This card asks you to shed the masks that you believed you were required to wear. Walk to the beat of your own drum, and do not be afraid to shine. In doing so, you give others permission to do the same. And I love that, blossoming into your authentic self, just this transformation. I just feel that this next month, if you didn't, one of the readings that I did out of the 3 pick a cards did have to do with transformation. So you might check that one out, because I think that might be additional messages for you if you didn't already listen to it there. Then I'm going to pull some tarot cards here from the Light Seer's Tarot, just to get you some more information. See what birthday wishes are coming true. Coming through. What guidance. So I know you have a birthday and you're just like, okay, what's new? What's next going to happen? All right. So for the Taurus season, what do you want the Taurus birthday babies to know? What would you like them to know? Okay. Have a few here. Okay, perfect. We've got the Two of Pentacles, and I love this. This is all about the balance between. You can kind of see like this is the Earth Pentacle, excuse me, and this is the. It's like a spirit one, right? It's like a ghost one almost. So that's the balance between the spirit world and the physical world, and just understanding, you know, that it's like being. You don't want to be out of balance with being too earthly focused that you're no heavenly, you don't have any connection to the heavens, right? But you don't want to be too heavenly minded where you're no earthly good or no earthly connections and spacey. So it's all about enjoying that experience of balancing those two, you know, in this upcoming month here. And I just really, sometimes it can be, because the pentacles have to do with the external too, that you have some decisions coming up, and if you do have a decision coming up, and you don't trust just the logic, but also bring in the spirit, bring in your intuition and your gut, your emotions. Don't make it just all about thoughts. You know, let it be a balanced approach to it all. And also, if you don't know what decision to make, it means you don't have all the information yet, and to not make a decision, even if that means if not making a decision is making a decision, because you have to let something go, then let it go, because if you don't know, then don't do it. And then you get the Knight of Swords, and I love this because the Knight is all about action, taking action, and Swords is all about thoughts and beliefs. So when you do make that decision, when you do, you'll know it. I mean, it'll be as obvious as going on your path and going, I need transportation to get somewhere quickly. And you're like, oh, there's a motorcycle. It's going to be such a clear answer for you that you're able to take quick action on it. But if there was no bike there, then it's like, okay, I continue running because nothing is there. I love too that there's this hawk up here, which represents, you know, listening to your higher self and asking, you know, your angels, your spirit guides, the creator, you know, whatever, those unconditionally loving spirit beings. They always want to assist us. They always want to help us, but they won't also go against our free will. They won't, you know, do things against our will. So I try to ask each day, you know, as soon as I realize in the morning and I'm waking up, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, Creator, I invite you to meddle in my life. I invite you to come in and bring me the experiences that are from my highest good, from my highest experience, from my highest love vibration. You know, and ask them for assistance. And if I have questions, I'm unsure, then I ask, and I'll get answers. And so they're at your, not really your beck and call. That's not really the kind of energy I want around it. It's, you know, they're so willing and standing by, ready, just so, you know, biting at the bit to help, that you just go, hey, would you mind? Yes, we'll help, you know. That's how they are. Oh, and then Temperance, again, you know, it's all about the balance. It's all about being patient as well, not jumping into things, but just knowing that there's also cycles, and being patient with not jumping into things. So I always love the messages where they're like, take action, but be patient. Take action, but be patient. So It's usually kind of advice that we get when they're like, there's going to be opportunities that are going to come up that are not the ones for you. So in this case, it could be, you're like, is this the motorcycle foreman? They're like, nope. And you don't know that there's a leak in the gasoline tank and it's going to explode if you write it. They're like, nope, not that one. It's the next one. And so that's why it's important to trust your gut and to look higher too. And they got Ace of Pentacles, so that's perfect. That's so much about blossoming and new beginnings. This is a huge seed that's ready to be planted. It's just finding the soil, the proper, beautiful, nutritious soil to put it in. And it's so much about patience too. When you plant a new seed, when you plant new things, it takes time for them to grow. So, but you definitely have wonderful things, opportunities coming for new changes and new beginnings. So I just love how this is unfolding here. All right. I do want to pick a card here too from the Power Thought cards by Louise Hay. Get you a card here. Okay, both didn't want to do that too well. Let's try that again. Okay. All right, what else would you like our Taurus birthday babies to know? Okay. Any others? Okay, please make it really obvious if you do. Okay, no more of these. So you got, loving others is easy when I love and accept myself. And it says, my heart is open. I allow my love to flow freely. I love myself, I love others, and others love me. That's beautiful, and I just really feel, a lot of this blossoming and this authentic self. I mean, you are love. You are made of unconditional love. So I just feel like this is about being love. Being love. But also allowing yourself to have the experiences like it had with this balance, that it's not wrong to have unloving thoughts and feelings and emotions. What action you take on it is up to you, but to have those is not nothing wrong with that. We come here to experience those, so it's okay. It's okay to have that, but you're obviously ready for a transformation. You're ready for new things because what you've had before, you're just like, what? I'm tired of all that old stuff. I'm ready for something new. So, loving others is easy when you love and accept yourself. So I really feel this is your journey of delving into that, of truly unconditionally loving and unconditionally accepting yourself as you are right now. You can repeat after me. I am perfect just as I am. Go ahead. I am perfect just as I am. And you are. Right, and then I feel like I'm going to pull a card here from, this is the Naked Heart Tarot, just to get you another message here. Sorry about that. I thought I left a card out of here, but... Okay, so I had one card left from this Light Seers Tarot that was over there I didn't see. And it's perfect because this is the King of Cups, which this is, cups are all about the emotions, but it's the balance between, you can also see the crown that he has above his mind. And the King of Cups represents just the ultimate of emotions. You can see how this is our soul here, and he has his fingers dipped into his soul. and he also so he understands that, and I love all the rays that are shooting out from his heart, right? It's the balance of our emotions with our mind, and that it just come into harmony. It's smooth sailing behind there. And I just really feel that this is what this is about, because the King of Cups to me is like Christ consciousness, like Jesus, the level of unconditional love he was able to send out while he was here in physical form. It's that type of essence that is who we are. Jesus even said, at least he said this in the Bible, was, everything I've done, you're going to do and more. We are one. We're brothers and sisters. We're we're all the children, many creators, so powerful, but the heart is where it all comes through there for you. Okay, let me get this final message here for you. All right, what's the final message for the birthday baby-torians? Oh, nope, not yet. I was going to grab it, and they said nope. Okay, so it's this one on the bottom here. Like it, the moon. Beautiful card, and I love, because the moon card is all about really getting into who you are and getting into the depths of who you are. But I want to read this because they always have a little message from the little animal that's on here too. So let me grab that here. Yep, so it says, darkness is only scary when I cannot see in it. But when I close my eyes, I have all the tools within me to navigate the shadows and shed my light on the unseen, unknown, and untouched. When I follow my intuition into the dark and obscure, my inner sight comes alive and my visions guide me. They illuminate a place within that needs to be nourished, transformed, and eased. I trust and surrender to the darkness, as unfamiliar as it may be, because I know it holds the truth of what my soul desires. When I meet that place within me, I am free to be in the vastness of my creation and be the wild and untamed me. And it talks about this wolf familiar here. He whispers to you, allow time for meditation and your inner visions to sweep you into a world of transformation and healing. So turn inward to the authentic you. Well, you have a very, very happy birthday, my baby Taurians. And until next time, just know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. Happy birthday!